Hey, today the community manager discusses the current Steam accounts that are regionally blocked due to the latest PlayStation Link controversy. We're also going to talk about how the developers have confirmed that they're actively working on resolving bugs in Helldivers 2. Additionally, we'll discuss some recent news about the demotion of an official moderator from Helldivers 2 Discord server following a controversial statement. Not only that, but there's a lot more that we will be discussing in today's video. So with that being said, let's dive right into it. Okay, before we get into the important details, I'd like to briefly discuss how the Steam reviews for Helldivers 2 have seen some significant changes. This comes right after the recent Sony announcement about them no longer continuing with the requirement. What you can see is that it went from mostly negative to mixed, and mostly positive. And if you look at the graph here, you can see the changes. As of today, May 6th, there are now 61,000 positive reviews and 15,000 negative reviews. And the negative reviews you do see here are mostly from players who are unable to access the game, which is completely understandable. And speaking of region locked games, this is what Twinbeard had to say in response to the whole situation. Twinbeard states, "Helldivers, ideally we would have liked to have some more information before posting an announcement here. However, as questions about the details surrounding account linking keep pouring in, and understandably so, we feel it's better to say something even if it's not much. We don't have any updated information about account linking yet, particularly if anything related to players outside PSN regions. There are ongoing discussions between parties, and we at Arrowhead acknowledge and respect that it will take some time to sort out all the details. We therefore kindly ask you, our cherished community, hardcore Helldivers, and precious players to try to be patient as well. As soon as we learn more, we'll post an update here." So we've won the overall battle, but the fact is, there's no confirmation on whether these players will be able to play Helldivers 2 again. Let me know what your thoughts are on this down below. Next, a Helldivers 2 Discord member asked Twinbeard, in regards players being kicked, would it be possible to add an if function where the player doing the kicking could let the kicked player know why they are being kicked? Twinbeard replied, "Hey, thanks for the input. We know there are some challenges in the whole kicking, ending of mission, griefing pot, and we're discussing various ways of mitigating as much as possible." Continuing on, the developer and support team member have discussed the spear stratagem and various bugs. They've shared plans about potential fixes in the near future, but there's no specific timeline for when we can expect these changes. A Discord member recently asked about a bug that essentially forces you and your teammates out of a game. This member asked, "There's some kind of bug right now where I'll do a mission with 3 guys, then the extraction literally gets near the ground and everyone is kicked from the lobby at once. Even if I join someone else's lobby? PlayStation question mark. Unfortunately, if you're experiencing this bug, we'll have to wait for a proper fix to resolve the overall issue. This is because the support team member replied with, "Yeah, we're aware of that one. It just needs to be fixed on our end, I'm afraid. Nothing you can do to work around it." As you can see, there's no proper fix or workaround currently available. As soon as I see any updates on this, I'll let you all know as soon as possible, either through a video or over on X. Now, we're going to take a look at a discussion with support team member Omnivol about the connectivity issues stemming from the recent patch. There have been quite a few reports about disconnections while playing. Here's what the Helldivers 2 Discord member had to say. "Only since the drama happened, I stepped away from the game to let things settle down in the community, but I never had difficulty joining games prior to this." Then the support team member Omnivol responded with, "It may be a temporary thing, we still have some connectivity issues, especially since the latest big update. You can always try port forwarding. It tends to help and can't do any harm, only good." And as you can tell, the support team recommends visiting portforward.com/Helldivers-2 to see if port forwarding could help resolve the current connection issues. Omnivol replied with, "All I can say is that connectivity issues and the Solsa features not working as intended are among our highest priorities right now. I cannot guarantee when they will be resolved, but they're in our sights." Also, Omnivol responded to another member's discussion about how the anti-cheat game guard in Helldivers 2 has been detecting false positives for cheating. Here's what the team member had to say. "This is also very solid advice. There may be utility software that are somehow preventing you from connecting to the game. I know that some utility softwares even trigger game guard and gives a false positive for cheats. Possibly if you are on PC, this might be one of the reasons why you are experiencing connection problems." Next, the developer Evil Boss discusses how they have a fix for the lock-on with the spear. However, he does express his dissatisfaction with its current state. Here's his response to a deleted message saying, "I know we're working on getting a good fix for lock-on. I don't have any other cool stuff about the spear. The lock-on jank makes me not like it." We're now going to move along and talk about the recent situation involving Grums and an official Helldivers 2 moderator. There was an accusation that Grums was involved in some form of inappropriate behavior, and the moderator was also banning players, and guess what? Deleting posts too. Since the news broke, the moderator that had mentioned these allegations has been demoted. The individual who was once a senior moderator is now serving as just a moderator. Not only that, but it appears that that moderator also changed his name, so I guess that's what you do. I guess when you start some allegations, you get demoted and you change your username. Alrighty, what we're going to do now is talk about the accidental cape design. If you guys do not know about this, the Arrowhead CEO posted this right here stating, also the accidental cape design is pretty cool from a community member. So with that being said, this Twitter user responded, you should put it in the game and call it Democracy Incarnate. The CEO responded, I like that name, but it's up to the team now, smiley face. This right here is quite interesting. I did receive one comment previously from the other video when I was talking about this. Someone said, oh, this is clickbait, it's never coming. And I did show actual proof that the CEO said, hey, yeah, it's completely free. And on top of that, if you take a look right here, he even says that it's up to the team now. This cape right here will be arriving somewhat soon. So this right here is even more confirmation that it definitely is. The developers, the team, they're coming up with a name. I'm interested in what it is. What would you name it? Let me know down below. And so now we're going to talk about the recent patch. If you guys have not noticed, there is a new patch, a new update. With that being said, we're now on patch 01.000.302. What I'm going to do here is actually bring up some of the most noticeable changes. For example, at the top it says balancing primary, secondary, and support weapons, and there's only one here, and it says R-9 Eruptor. Increase explosion damage by 40 and remove shrapnel from the explosion. They've also said that, hey, right here, quote, this is to avoid cases in which players would randomly one-shot themselves or their teammates in a huge radius around the explosion. The developers have also mentioned that they've increased the Shrieker's sight and hearing range slightly, and they've also increased the gunship hearing range slightly as well. And when it comes down to the bugs that are patched, they have mentioned right here, gameplay crashes and social menus. All this stuff has been fixed. There's various stuff here. I do not want to go into it specifically, but there's just a bunch of stuff that has been resolved, as well as they've mentioned this down below on the current known issues. Players may not have the option to send, accept, or decline friend requests. Blocked players are not added to the blocked player list and are not prevented from joining games. Reinforcements may not be available for some players who join in game in progress. Helldiver may be unable to stand up from crouching when surrounded by enemies. Game may crash if the player changes the text language while on a mission. Players may experience delays in medals and super credits payouts. Enemies that bleed out do not progress personal orders and eradicate missions. Arc weapons sometimes behave inconsistently and sometimes misfire. Spear targeting is inconsistent, making it hard to lock on to larger enemies. Stratagem beam might attach itself to an enemy, but it will deploy to its original location. Explosions do not break your limbs except when you fly into a rock. Area around the automaton detector tower makes blue stratagems such as the Hell Bomb bounce and be repelled when trying to call them down close to the tower. Planet Liberation reaches 100% at the end of every defend mission, and last but not least, some weapons in the tutorial have missing parts presenting as question marks in some cases. So I'm sure a lot of you already know about these issues, but just to go over them and let you know that they have yet to resolve these issues specifically. With that information to the side, we're now going to talk about the last and final topic here, and it appears that the community manager received a message from an unknown individual revealing the community manager's neighborhood block following the recent Sony controversy. This was confirmed when a member asked, on a scale of 1 to 10, how wild has the last few days been for you? Spitz responded, having a dude send a picture of my neighborhood block to my LinkedIn DMs was pretty wild. And yeah, it's definitely a bit nutty. So what are your thoughts about everything that we have discussed in today's video? Now, if you would like to be featured in the next video, comment down below. Let's take a look at the top comments from the previous video. This first comment comes from Based, and he says, Major order, defeat Sony, reward 50 medals, major order complete. The second comment by David Jones, don't forget what Sony said, we haven't figured out PC players yet. I'd bet they are sorry about this and dreaming up something for us PC gamers. By the way, Sony, PC gamers are very simple. Make a good game, sell it at a fair price, give us all the control and options, setting keybinds, etc. Don't add pay to win, paywalls, and then leave us the F alone. The third comment here is in regards to what the cape name should be, and this user dbut5427 says, Unity should be the name. The fourth comment is by a username Baron Von Mott. Surely the new cape will be named the Will of the People or something along those lines. And last but not least, we have this comment by this username Braca86. After a weekend of no show, it's time to reinstall the game, unwind with a few Helldives. So with this information being said, if you guys would like to be featured in the next video, comment down below and you might just be featured. With all the information being said and everything that we have went over, let me know your exact thoughts down below. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel, and I will see you all in the next video.